So the song "Shake the Dust" came out of there was a team of us that met together, and we were talking about how cool it would be, or those moments are when the congregation is singing louder than the theme, and just like how that could be a little picture of what heaven looks like, that when all of God's creation is singing out. So it started from this place of, what does it look like if I want to join back into creation, worshiping and praising God? And that would have to start with a reset and like a shaking of the dust and a shaking of the debris off my own heart. So it came from that place, and that was kind of the idea around verse 1, was to start there, of this reset and God, pull me back to you, bring me back into you, and shake the dust off, and that goes into the chorus.
Shake the dust off these songs, awaken in me something new. Let dry bones come apart, pouring praise back to you. Spring breaks forth from the earth, reaching out for something new. Finally finding worth, pouring praise back to you.
And then later I was having a conversation with Brian and Chrissy, and Brian brought up that it would be awesome if verse 2 transitioned into the truths of God, the mercy streams, and kind of reminding us of this is why all of creation would want to join back into worship and praise of God. So verse 2 speaks to that truth, and then comes back together in the bridge of all of creation crying out. And I love nature and I love metaphor, so I love drawing the parallel of, like, what would it look like for the rocks to cry out, and what would it look like for the mountains to bend down, and then like a pretty obvious, like, streams or rivers crying out in a chorus to God. And then reminding us that as a part of creation, like the cognitive part of creation, that our body would have the same response in worship. That, like, if the rocks were going to cry out in worship, that they would have to, like, shake the debris off and potentially even, like, come apart. And I drew that imagery into the chorus of, like, what would it look like for bones that have collected dust and collected debris and dried up. What would it look like for them to almost shake apart and come apart in worship back to God?
To cry out, the mountains want to bend down, your rivers sing a chorus for you. Oh, our voice is bound to burst for join a choir of angels, for all the praise belongs to you. Lord, our praise belongs to you.
So it's our honor as a team to write this and to give it back to the church. And we just pray that it blesses any ear that it lands on.
So Lord, won't you shake the dust off this heart, awaken in me something new. Let's try both.